we're here at the Pivot booth here at Interbike Reno, and with a good friend Chris Cocalis. So I was at the launch in Moab. I got to ride this bike, Mach 5.5. Why are we looking at it again?
Well, a couple of things. This one has the new Fox Live system on it, but we've even got updates on the non-live one for this year. So first of all, the Fox Live introduced just a couple of weeks ago. We're the first partner with Fox to fully incorporate and have a live valve bike on the market. So you know, riding the bike, it's a super versatile bike.
Right.
It's can climb very well, be used almost at a cross-country level, but then it's essentially park capable at the other end. We do have people racing enduro on it. 140 millimeters of travel in the back, 160 in the front. Just great, versatile, all-around bike. With the Fox Live system, basically adds a whole nother layer of versatility to the bike. So there's a sensor at the rear axle, an accelerometer, and another one up at the front in the fork, and they activate valves on the fork and the rear shock, and then there's an electronic box here that is basically the computer controlling everything that's going on. And essentially what this allows us to do is when you're descending or in any kind of bumpy terrain, have the bike more plush than what we would normally run it. And in places where you need pedaling efficiency, have more pedaling efficiency than the standard shock without flipping any kind of levers. So, and it reads the ground at 1,000 times a second and can make a valving adjustment at 3 milliseconds. So that's faster than a human can feel anything at the handlebars. So the front end hits a bump, the suspension opens and gets plush before you feel anything at the handlebars, or before you can lose traction or upset control of the chassis at all. So it's the coolest thing about it is it's almost not cool, because you're not like getting on the bike and going, wow, I can feel it.
Yeah, I can feel it. I see a digital readout.
Yeah. The cool thing is you can't feel it. All of a sudden it's just, if you turn it off and ride it around, you're like, wow, I don't know if I'd want to ride a bike this plush all the time. But it happens so quickly, and you can't feel it turning on or off. It's like you could have that 3 pedal strokes in between the next rock, and it's cross-country firm, but then it's just plusher than you would normally run, and on the descents you can go faster.
So the sweet spot was like this? Are you saying the sweet spot got wider?
Yeah, the sweet spot got wider.
So he took us on a ride called Mach 7, and then we did a descent called Portal. A lot of pedaling, and then some gnarly descent. So you're saying it would be a better experience now?
Yeah, so you know, on Mag 7, coming across the top, the Blue Dot Trail on Portal, you've got all of that like stair-steppy top stuff, and then all of a sudden, at the top of the last stair step, it just dives almost vertical down. And I actually came back after our press launch when we started testing the latest systems with the live valve. And that's the kind of, like, you do those power moves, like you've firmed up the suspension, and then all of a sudden you wouldn't dare take your hands off the bars and open it to the plush setting. But all of a sudden it just tips, and you drop down, and it's like super plush, and the bike settles in just the way you want to settle it.
Exactly.
So things you don't even think about, all of a sudden it just enables an efficiency and a speed. So the downside is there is a little cost,
a little money,
to the system.
Little money involved.
It adds $2,000 to the price of the bike. So in addition to the live valve system, the latest version of the Mach 5 for this year, on the standard builds, the Pro and Team builds, we went from a DPS shock, and we're going to start within the next couple weeks shipping with the new DPX V2 shock on this bike.
My favorite.
Yeah, that one has an easy lever to reach, and also, as far as versatility, opens things up as well. So you get a little bit closer to what's going on with
DPX too, but you can't probably have a bottle anymore.
Actually, you can still fit a full water bottle in there. The bike was designed to be able to take a Float X2 from the beginning with a full-size water bottle, even on the extra small size frame.
Very good.
It's really awesome.
Do you have anything to do with the design of the live valve? Any input?
Lots of input.
Lots of input.
Yeah, A lot of people have heard about the live valve system. There was actually some reviews posted, or a review posted almost 2.5 years ago, and it was done in Santa Cruz. They pedaled up a pretty smooth trail, and then with it firm, and then you descended.
Went on the gnarly.
and you know, not a lot of rocks and things, but descending it opens up and got smooth. When we got our first samples in Phoenix with all the steppy rocks and everything, it
Didn't work.
wasn't the best. Yeah, it was a little confused on what was going on, and they came and tested with us, and we started adding things to the wish list and got it, you know, for the basics on off, got it better, but there was still places where sometimes the front wheel would tap something and the back end would open up when you didn't want it to. And so it just got the algorithms and the computer programming and the addition of pitch detection, so it knows when the front wheel's up or when the front wheel's down. All of these things got added. And then even things like the wiring of the system. The original things we tested, this was hardwired into the fork, and I was riding a sample and I slid out in a corner. Just a minor slide out, but the handlebar spun around, and I got up and there was just wires hanging out of the top. Just stripped everything out of there, and so now it's just a quick release. Just pops out. This swivels around if the handlebars twist around. Just a lot of things to where the whole system is very user-friendly,
refined,
very, very dialed in every way. So, so yeah, with every generation, I kind of feel like places like Moab and Phoenix, we've got a unique situation where you're never just descending smooth and buff, and you're never just climbing on a fire road. It's just there's always something hitting the wheels and going on, and you're stepping over things, and it's just it really works a system like this to its maximum. And they were able to get it dialed in, and so we're yeah, we've been fully on board with it from the beginning, and I'm really glad that we were able to participate in the way we did to get the system where it's at.
Well, thank you, Chris, for sharing this with us.
All right, thanks.
Excited.